Top 5 most overhyped stocks in the entire stock market. That's what we're going to do today, guys. This is going to be a really fun video. I'm going to share with you the 5 stocks that I think are massively overhyped. But let me be clear about something for a second here. Just because I feel like these stocks are massively overhyped, it doesn't mean I'm going to go out shorting these stocks or I believe these companies are going to fail or anything like that, all right? Some of these companies have brilliant visions. They're executing very well, but these companies, in my opinion, are just the hype around them. It's just like insane. Everybody's anointing them champion of everything before they've proven they're champion of everything, all right? So I hope you guys really enjoy this today. I hope you get a lot of value out of it. Once again, I'm not shorting any of these stocks. One of these stocks is actually, I'm part of the problem. I hype it all. Oh, actually 2 of these stocks I hype a lot. So I'm part of the problem. I'm not just like, an innocent saint here. Like, I'm part of the hype problem, all right? So let's get into this, guys. We've got all the first letters of all the companies. If anybody can guess, it's like, what do they call it, Wheel of Fortune or whatnot. If you can guess all 5 of these companies, you are a true champion of life. Number 5 is a company named Chipotle. So Chipotle, this used to be one of Wall Street's darlings, okay? This used to be, one of those stocks that could do no wrong. And up until, a few years ago, it was one of those stocks, but then all of a sudden the E. coli situation happened. We had, tons of other situations happen with Chipotle. It took away all the same store sales growth. So they were used to grow, 6, 7, 8+% same store sales growth. All that got taken away, okay? Earlier this year, a new CEO is appointed, CEO of the company, and he comes over from Taco Bell, and everybody's got all this hype around the CEO. When I look at this, I look at it from the perspective of this guy comes over from Taco Bell, which is Taco Bell. When you think about Taco Bell, what is Taco Bell's strategy? We're going to use as cheap of ingredients as possible. We're going to market as heavy as possible to try to seem like a cool brand. We're going to try to sell for as low of prices as possible so everybody can afford it, okay? That's Taco Bell's strategy. And when you think about what Chipotle brand really represents, it represents, higher level ingredients, much higher level ingredients than say someone like a Taco Bell, which is why Chipotle stole a lot of market share away from Taco Bell and other competitors. They think about, we're going to sell for higher prices, okay? And ingredient costs, if we have to pay up for some of these ingredients, we have to pay up. So Chipotle is now in a situation where this stock is getting heavily hyped, like they're going to be, grow to infinity now at this point in time. And when I look at Chipotle, I say there's a lot of questions here about this company still. Can they even get same-store sales to be a consistent grower again of 2, let's say just 2 or 3 or maybe 4%, maybe not the 6, 7, 8+% that they used to do. Can they just get it back to like a 2 or 3% growth consistently? Is that even possible for this company, okay? So just to appoint them champion because this new CEO comes in from Taco Bell, I think that's overhyping 101. So that's comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is not just one specific stocks, it's actually an entire industry right now, and it is the weed stocks, all right, the weed stocks. So, we know weed is starting to get legalized in a lot of places, okay? We know this is an exciting industry. However, the valuation you have to pay for the majority of companies that are public companies is ridiculous. A lot of times it's hard to even see who's going to be the winners and losers in this space right now because it is so early days. But what you have right now, you have a lot of these weed stocks, right? A lot of these companies have multi-billion-dollar valuations on them, and some of these companies, guys, don't even have $100 million in revenue and are taking massive losses on the bottom line. Not even $100 million in revenue, you got a $5-6 billion valuation on you, right? And last year you didn't even do $100 million in revenue. Like, that's just crazy, okay? Ton of these stocks basically had virtually no revenue last year, maybe a few $1 million, which is like virtually none, and they have $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion valuations on them. It's unreal. Okay, once again, it's so early days in the weed industry that it's hard to see, who's going to be the true winners in this space, who's going to be the Budweiser of weed, okay, who's going to be the Constellation brands of the weed industry and whatnot. This is a really hard sector to see and envision out. Okay, this one's going to be the winner, this one's going to be the winner, and the valuations you have to pay is astronomical. Okay, like, literally, I was looking at a company the other day, had a $6 billion valuation on it, and the company did $77 million in revenue last year, and they lost like, I think $70 million or some insane amount. Like, think about that. Like, what? You gotta pay $6 billion valuation for a company that brought in $77 million in revenue and lost a bunch of money on the bottom line? Like, that's overhyping 101. So is there a lot of exciting things going on in the weed space, and could some of these stocks be huge? Could be, but at the same time, when you got to pay that type of valuation, it's just ridiculous, guys. That's just overhyping 101. And a lot of people are comparing it now to Bitcoin at this point in time, where everybody's just trying to funnel in these stocks, hoping it's like a lottery ticket, hoping that that company that they pay $1 billion valuation that basically has no earnings right now somehow grows to be a 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 billion company. It's like a lottery ticket play, okay? That's overhyping 101. Weed stocks. This next one that is overhyped, oh my goodness, is Netflix, all right? Netflix, a phenomenal service, okay? Phenomenal service, been a phenomenal grower for a long time. But everybody's appointing them champion of not only streaming, but just like content in general going forward. And we gotta slow our roll for a second here, okay? Netflix deserves a lot of credit for being the first real major player in streaming. They got out in front of everybody who was taking this stuff serious before everybody, and they always deserve a premium over everybody for doing that because they got that brand reputation now for that, okay? So they deserve a lot of credit, but at the same time, this company is treated like everybody's just going to watch Netflix and no one's going to watch anything else in the future. And I say there's going to be a massive amount of serious competition coming in over the next few years. Up until now, Netflix has had virtually no real competition, or very little real competition. Over the next 1 to 2 years, everybody's coming in the streaming space. Everybody wants a piece of this pie. I don't care if we're talking tech companies, the Apples and the Facebooks and the Googles and those type of companies, or I don't care if we're talking about Disney and some of the old players are coming into streaming. HBO's obviously big in streaming now. Everybody wants a piece of Netflix pie. Everybody is coming in seriously over the next 1 to 2 years. So I would say just let's slow our roll a little bit on appointing Netflix the champion forever, because I'm telling you guys, the amount of competition coming in this space over the next 1 to 2 years is astronomical. And most times Wall Street will talk about this, and most times Wall Street will say, whoa, look at all this competition coming in. This company could get knocked off. But in Netflix situation, Netflix hasn't had to deal with any of that so far. Everybody's just kind of like turning a blind eye to all this competition coming in over the next couple of years. I'm here like how's no one paying attention to everybody that's coming in streaming? Like Disney's launching a massive streaming service next year. Like, there's so much competition coming in this space, it's unbelievable. But everybody just kind of just gives Netflix a pass, and then the hype just builds and builds and builds, and everybody's just gonna watch Netflix in the future. I would say that's pretty interesting, okay? But they definitely always deserve a premium because they got in the space first, all right? Number 2 stock, I'm definitely part of the problem on this one. I am just one piece of the problem. It's a very, very overhyped stock, and that company is Tesla, okay? Tesla, I love this company. I've been on this channel for over 2 years now talking about how I believe Tesla will have a 50% market share of cars sold in the United States of America within 10 years, okay? That's a ridiculous hype type of statement, right? No one's had that type of market share maybe ever in automobiles, or maybe we have to go back to the early 1900s or something to get that type of market share. I'm talking about them having a type of market share in cars that Apple has in smartphones right now. That type of market share in the United States of America, okay? That's huge hype I'm putting on this company, but I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people putting a lot of hype on this company, okay? People, there's a lot of people saying they're going to be able to move, 2 million plus cars within 3 to 5 years, all right? So this is a heavily hyped stock. Everybody believes that this company has some huge things going for it. It also is a stock that gets a ton of hate, okay? It's also a stock that gets a ton of hate. People think they're going to go bankrupt and whatnot, but a lot of other people say they're going to be not only a disruptor in automobiles, not only transportation, but also in the energy sector, okay? They're going to fundamentally change the energy industry in the way, an average home gets their energy, or average city gets their energy. So this is a really hyped stock right now. A lot of love, a lot of hate for this one. Like I said, I'm part of the problem in terms of hyping. I think they got such big potential at the company. It's unbelievable, and the brand is unbelievable. unbelievable there. But needless to say, they're such a far long way from getting to where they're at now to where, I believe the company's going to be over time, or even, some of the other people that believe they're going to be moving 2 million plus cars per year within 3 to 5 years. They're still a long, long way from that. Remember, we're just talking about them producing 5,000 Model 3s a week. To get to that, to all of a sudden producing millions of cars, that's a long, long way, okay, guys? So Tesla, all right? Tesla, I give them number 2 most overhyped company, because this number 1 most overhyped company, it's almost unbelievable how much credit people give this company. And they deserve a lot of credit, don't get me wrong. But the amount of credit, I've never seen anything like it in my time of investing, being in the stock market for a decade. And this company is named Amazon, okay? Good old Amazon, Mr. Jeff Bezos. Amazon is the most overhyped stock I've ever seen in my time in the stock market, okay? Are they doing a million brilliant things? Yes. And once again, it's another stock. I'm probably part of the problem, because I always talk about Amazon's taking over the world. They're taking over everything. And a lot of that's true. But at the same time, any industry Amazon even dips their toe into, everybody's appointing them champion right off the bat. And that's like, come on, guys. Like, we got to get serious here for a second. Anything that Amazon does, people are like, oh, that industry's done, okay? They come into the food, the grocery game. They buy Whole Foods. Oh, all the grocery companies are going to go out of business now. Everybody's done. Kroger, no one's shopping there. And I'm like, I don't know, not so fast about that, okay? They buy PillPack. All pharmacies are done. Walgreens is done. CVS is done. Everybody's going to be destroyed by Amazon, okay? They announced they're going to do some type of delivery service. Oh, FedEx, UPS, all those huge, massive businesses, they're all done. Anything that Amazon gets in, literally immediately, even if it's just a little bit they're like trying to chew off of that industry, literally overnight, the stocks in the competitor industries get nailed. Like Amazon's literally going to win and everybody else is going to go bankrupt. And I'm like, wow, that's overhyping to the biggest extent, okay? Just because Amazon has been a huge disruptor in retail, right? And just because Amazon has been extremely successful in Amazon Web Services doesn't mean Amazon's going to win everything, okay? Oh, the whole world's going to be run by Amazon. It doesn't mean that, okay, guys? And there's something you got to think about, okay? Amazon's in a massive expanding phase right now. They're doing a lot that has to do with expanding the business in a lot of industries that aren't really related to their 2 cores, which is online selling of items, okay? And which is Amazon Web Services. They're starting to do a lot of things that kind of break away from that. And maybe they'll try to tie it in, but it's not to their core businesses. And things like that do definitely work good when you're in a good economy and everything's expanding. But I'm just gonna put this warning out there. When the next recession happens, the players that have these tons of different businesses going on, everything, money going all over the place, spending on everything, next time there happens to be a recession, those type of businesses get hurt worse in everything, because they're already blowing money on so many different projects, right? Then all of a sudden a recession happens, tons of the revenue dries up, you have to lower prices even lower to get customers, to buy different things, right? And then all of a sudden you're stuck in a situation where you're taking massive losses and you're spending massive amounts of money, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, we got to rein in some things here, we got to start getting rid of some of these other businesses we were trying and whatnot. So Amazon, oh my gosh, like anything they do, everybody just appoints them. They won that. They come into this $20 billion industry. Oh, they won that industry. It's like, guys, this is a company that's very successful and they deserve respect and they should be thought about as a competitive threat anytime they come into space. Yes, but to appoint them champion in some new industry that they've never even done anything in, I think that's pretty ignorant, guys, okay? So I hope you really enjoyed this today. Let me know what you think about these stocks, guys. Probably a controversial video. Like I said, I'm not shorting any of these stocks, and a lot of these companies have brilliant visions, and I think they're going to do amazing things. But just because you have brilliant vision and you probably or might do amazing things doesn't mean you necessarily deserve an insane multiple on your company, or to be hyped like you're champion before you're ever champion. You got to prove it first, right? You got to prove it first. So let me know in that comment section which one of these you guys think is the most overhyped. If I didn't mention one stock that you think is a massively overhyped company, I would love to hear from you guys in that comment section. And anyways, that's all I got to say, guys. Have a great day.